Hey guys, it's Jeff here. Welcome back to another mod showcase. This time we are looking at the IndustrialCraft mod and more specifically how to build and how to power jetpacks just like this. Whee! Woohoo! They are pretty complicated to build, but they're definitely worth it. I mean, just the way you can easily fly over mountains and just get around. It makes it so much more fun to get around with Minecraft with a jetpack. So I'm going to show you guys how to make it. Now, as I said, it is a little bit complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take off this backpack and I'm going to throw it away. We're going to build another one. So yeah, let's get down to it. Now, it is fairly complicated. There are different circuits that you need to bring together to make this work. So hopefully you'll be able to follow along. I have put them all up here in frames like this just to make it easy for you guys to have a look and see how it works. And once we have actually made the jetpack, there it is there, we're also going to power it as well, and I'll show you an easy way to be able to power this jetpack. So firstly, for the jetpack, we need iron casings like this, an advanced circuit, a battery box, and some glowstone. Now for the iron casings like this, I'll show you how to create these. They are fairly simple. You will need to make a forge hammer. The forge hammer is made with some sticks and some iron ingots around like that, and you create the forge hammer. Then to be able to use the forge hammer, it's fairly easy to do. Just stick it in the crafting table like that with some iron ingots, and then you have the iron plates. From the iron plates, stick the iron plates back in and they create the iron item casings like that. So the iron item casings are actually fairly easy to make, and that the plating as well is fairly easy to make. So we're going to have a look at how to do this advanced circuit. It sounds pretty complicated. It is fairly complicated, so we'll get to this right now. So the advanced circuit, we basically need an electronic circuit first. So we'll have a look at the electronic circuit. The electronic circuit recipe requires insulated copper cables, redstone, and insulated copper cables down the bottom with some iron plating in the center. Now before you get too freaked out there, we'll have a look at how to do the iron copper plating. Basically we need rubber and we need uninsulated copper cable. So the rubber can actually be made by smelting the sticky resin which you find in the rubber trees. You should find them around the world, or the ball of glue as well. Otherwise you can use an extractor and put the rubber wood in the extractor, or the sticky resin in the extractor, and you'll come up with the rubber just like that. So yeah, you should be able to find rubber trees somewhere around in your world. Now the uninsulated copper cable is fairly simple to make, but you will need a cutter for this, and a plate as well, a copper plate. So the plate, as I said before, is made just by using the forge hammer on the copper ingot, and you'll come up with a copper plate, but you will need a cutter for it to make the cable just like that. And the cutter is actually made with just iron plates like this, 3 iron plates and iron ingots, and you make the cutter. Then grab the cutter and you can cut up the copper plate to make the cable. The cable, you add the rubber to make it insulated cable, and then once you have the insulated cable there, you can put that around with redstone and some more iron plate, another iron plate there to make the electronic circuit. Once you have the electronic circuit, I hope you're following all of this. If not, you can always pause the video or use the NEI plugin to give you the recipes while you're playing in game. But yeah, once you have the electronic circuit, you place it in the center there with a glowstone at the top and the bottom, redstone in the corners, and lapis lazuli to the sides, and you create the advanced circuit there. So that is the advanced circuit, which is probably the most difficult component of the jetpack. So if you followed all of that, you're doing really well, because that is the most difficult part of this build. But we also need the battery box as well. So the battery box is what houses the batteries. As you can see, there are 3 RE batteries here with some tin insulated cabling up the top and just some planks of wood down the bottom and in the top corners as well. So the batteries are not too difficult to make. They do need the insulated tin cabling, as you see there. Now the tin cabling is made exactly the same way as the copper cabling, but just with tin instead of copper. So if you follow along with that, you'll need the cutter on the plate, on the tin plate, to make the tin cable, then add rubber to make the insulated tin, then you add the redstone and the plating over there as well. So that's how we make the RE batteries. So yeah, so that's the battery box. Basically, we grab the batteries and make the battery box just like that. Once you have those two fairly difficult components, the advanced circuit and the battery box, then all you need is just the casing and the glowstone, just like that, and that's how we make the jetpack. So let's try it out. Let's see if this actually works. Now I'm going to use the advanced electronic circuit here. We put the battery box in the center. And then we have the iron atom casings, just on the side like that. And I do believe we have the glowstone down the bottom. And there we go, we have a jetpack. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, hopefully you followed that all along. Now we can put the jetpack on here, but obviously it's not going to work. It's not working. We need to power this jetpack somehow. So yeah, it's not over yet. It's not over yet, but it is almost finished. So basically, to power this jetpack, we are going to need a generator. So the generator is made with a battery. Now we know how to make that. When we made the battery box with the iron casings, iron plating, just like that I should say, and now an iron furnace. Now the furnace is made with a regular furnace and the iron platings around just like that. So yeah, that's how we make an iron furnace, with just a regular furnace and iron plating. And then we grab the iron furnace and we add more iron plating and a battery on the top to come up with a generator. So let's try this out. Let's see if we can actually make a generator, and I'll follow along with that recipe there. So we're going to put these over here, and hopefully we'll come up with our generator, and we will actually be able to power our jetpack there. Okay, so there we go. So yeah, that's the generator there. And actually we're going to need a battery box as well. So we will need a battery box to, let me just grab this one here. So yeah, we will need a battery box to actually recharge the jetpack there. So we're going to connect them up with a copper cable just like that. Now those two should be connected up. We should be able to power this with some coal in here, and that generator should start producing energy there. What's going on here? Yes, okay, so sorry, I was getting a little bit confused. Yeah, the generator is pumping energy and it's going straight into this battery box over here. As you can see, the power level is increasing on this battery box. Now that can hold up to 40,000 EU units. So what we can do, we can power our batteries in here, we can stick them in here. Let me just stick a battery in here. There we go. Stick them in there one at a time, and as you can see, the battery is powering up, which is pretty cool. But we can also power the jetpack from here as well, the electronic jetpack. So I'm just going to stick the jetpack in there, and we can power it from two sources here. We can power it from recharge it, sorry, from a battery here, and also from the stored power in the bat box. So yeah, that's how that works. It will take a little while, so I'll pause the video here until this has charged. Okay, so as you can see, the electronic jetpack has almost filled up completely with power. It's almost charged completely. So any spare power will actually be held in the battery box for later use, which is pretty cool. So we're almost there. We're at 29,000 now. So let's see how, there we go. Okay, so the jetpack has been fully charged, and as you can see, the battery box now is holding that charge in there as well. So we can use it a little bit later, and if I want, I can stick a battery in there and start charging these batteries up as well, which is definitely really handy. So looks like the sun is just setting now, so it's probably a good time to give our jetpack a bit of a go. And as you can see, there we go. Now there is a hover mode with the IndustrialCraft jetpack. If I hold on to I have it set to H, but it's the default is M. I was just having a conflict, but if I hold space and press H, as you can see, hover mode is enabled. So what happens then is that it will actually move up and down fairly slowly, so that if I fall to the ground, it's not going to hurt me, whereas ordinarily it would. If I fell straight down, it would actually hurt. So yeah, that is how we create the jetpack, guys, and that is how you power it as well. I hope that wasn't too tricky for you. It is pretty tricky, especially the advanced circuits and the battery box as well. But apart from that, you should be good to go. So hopefully you'll be able to get your own jetpack working. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.